Barbie!
I told you to wait in the dream house.
Boys, avenge me! Avenge me! Avengers!
Bazinga.
Scruffy-looking nerf herders.
Ethan Hunt contacted you?
I am good, Rooster. I'm very good.
So you are Yoi's a trainer who trains.
Gonzo the Great will ride this baby again.
Hello and welcome to episode 130 of the Real Serious Podcast. Today we are talking about dinosaurs with the end of Oak Street as well as the X-Men. Yes, folks, that's right. The X-Men are finally here in the MCU and James Gunn is clutching his pearls for the DC universe because, oh boy, is it looking rough. But before we get into that, Charles, welcome back. How we doing?
Thank you, sir. Sorry I missed last week. I was a little under the weather.
It's okay, man. We all get the sniffles.
Still a tad under the weather, but that's okay. We're mostly back.
Well, good. Love to see it. Jack is dealing with some technical difficulties, so he's in and out simultaneously. So we'll kind of keep going until he gets back. But Charles, why don't we start today off with a question? Have you been watching movies while you were sick? And if so, what have you been watching?
I don't know actually. I had a pretty busy week, and I watched The Wolf of Wall Street, as I mentioned. But it was kind of like a 30 minutes a day type of thing.
Yeah.
Which is not how I prefer to watch movies, but here we are. That's what I ended up doing.
We are.
I had seen it before, gave it 4.5 stars. Just an all-time. The only other movie I watched was Field of Dreams.
Ooh,
which I
great movie.
I hadn't seen it in a very long. Like I watched it.
Always makes me cry.
Dude, I bawled my eyes out.
Yep, makes you cry.
I bawled my eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me at the end of the movie, this guy. Well, this is a spoiler, but I guess the movie's been out for like 30, 40 years now.
Yeah, I think we're okay to spoil the Field of Dreams.
You're telling me at the end of this movie, this guy plays catch with his dead dad?
Yeah.
Come on.
And then all the lights in the distance. Oh.
I was bawling.
Yeah.
It was so sweet, but
it's so good.
Yeah, I didn't really remember like any of it. Didn't know James Earl Jones was in it. Didn't know they would go on like a.
That's the part that gets me. When I tear up is when James Earl Jones does his speech where he's talking about how romantic baseball is, and he's like, you know, like America's gone through a lot. He's like, no matter what, we have baseball. And I'm just like, yeah, you're right. We do, James Earl Jones.
That's all I got, and obviously Jen and I hammered home some Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Jack, you've not seen Game of Thrones, right? Okay. Well,
Jack, your mic is horrible, by the way. I think you're on the wrong mic.
What?
I think you're on the wrong microphone. Check your mic setting.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I just think you're on the wrong one. So like pop up your little mic setting and then see if you're on the right mic. Game of Thrones, you hit the Red Wedding.
Yeah. Which was an insane episode. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right. I actually watched also a baseball movie this week that made me slightly tear up. I watched Moneyball.
Made you tear up?
There's a moment at the end of Moneyball, for those who haven't seen it, obviously when they get the 20th game, you know, and then Chris Pratt hits that home run, and it's just like, and then they go into the, you know, how can you not be romantic about baseball? But then, you know, a few minutes later there's the question of will Billy Beane, you know, take the job at the Boston Red Sox, and he doesn't, you know, and he turns it down. And then it's, hey, they win the championship 2 years later, and then you're just like, damn, like, you know, Billy doing this the plan that Billy Beane does, and you're just like, that's, you know, he didn't get his, he never did, and that's such a shame. So I don't know, I think Moneyball is just incredible, and something about baseball, man. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't sit down and watch a whole lot of baseball, but you know, how can you not be romantic about baseball? It's America's game. It's really, really amazing. Jack, welcome back. Are you back?
Yes, I'm back.
Nice.
Can you hear
Welcome
me?
back. Yes.
Much better. Apologies on that. Yeah, I had a pretty solid week of watching.
Nice. What'd
I've
you
been
got?
knocking out. Watched the first Twilight. I liked
Ooh,
it.
yeah.
It's bad.
Wow.
It's
It's
very
real
bad.
bad, but real good somehow
But
simultaneously.
yeah, but I liked it. And then I've been knocking out a lot of the Ghibli movies.
You
Chuck,
have been. You
uh,
have been.
Kiki's Delivery Service was good.
It's so good. Kiki's is like I think my favorite.
It's very comforting. I think it
Yes.
just kind of depends what style or what type of Ghibli movie you want. This one's very much
Yeah.
not that, I don't know, a lot of them have to do with war. So it kind of just depends which end of the spectrum you wanna land on. Do you want the chill or do you want all the?
Have you seen Grave of the Fireflies?
I'm not. That's also on my list. I have
That one is a bit too much for me, I think. It's like one of those where I really appreciate it, but I don't think I could watch it again.
Fair. I know. I mean, people have been. That's like the last one on that list of like the 250 most popular films on Letterboxd list I'm doing, and that's the last Ghibli one there. I think there's one more anime movie that's there. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. A lot of people are saying it's like super sad. So
yeah,
we'll see how I do it. And then I watched Your Name, which is an anime movie. My friend had recommended it to me. It was on that same list.
Oh,
it was really good.
Nice.
We highly recommend. It's like these two main characters. They don't live near each other. They've never met each other, but like they go to sleep and they like dream that they're essentially living in the life of the other person, just to find out that it's like not a dream, like it's very real. And they like somehow form this relationship with one another, even though they have never met in person.
Yeah. That's
great.
Spider-Man every night.
It's great.
That sounds awesome. You had a big anime week.
Yeah, a lot of anime. Just because I mean that's just very popular and it's on that list, and I've kind of been just trying to knock out as much as I can off that. And then
fair enough.
The final one was Train Spotting. Watched Train Spotting for the first time, which is a good time, and set up my perfect
train dreams.
Yeah, very different movies, but it set up my Ewan McGregor double feature very nicely yesterday.
There you go. Yeah.
So ended it off at the end of Oak Street.
I had a couple other ones this week. Also, I'm in my road to Doomsday, and so I did Thor Ragnarok. Yes, that was this week, which I think every time I watch it, I like it less. And so I'm kind of thinking one day it'll eventually get down to like a 3-star movie for me. But I don't know. There's something about it that just doesn't stay relevant in my mind. I rewatched 4 Weddings and a Funeral. It's fine. Hugh Grant is the most Hugh Grant he's ever Hugh Granted. And then 2 other ones that were great. The Philadelphia Story, which is a rom-com from 1940. Starring Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn, and James Stewart, is awesome. Really, really good. Really just... It's an America that doesn't exist anymore, obviously, but it's an America that you almost long for. Like, wow, what a different time, only less than 100 years ago in this nation. So it's a very interesting story. Really quite enjoyed it. They actually remade it a few years later in like the 1960s, and I have not seen that version of it. And then the other one I watched is a 2025, technically, but I count as a 2026 movie, Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. And I got to tell you, boys, this is a must watch. This was awesome. Awesome. One of the most fascinating movies I've seen maybe in the last decade. I still don't fully understand how they made it. Matt Johnson is having a year, to say the least, obviously, between this and Tony, which just came out. This is something special. You guys, this has to be on the list to watch if you guys have not had a chance to see it quite yet. It's on Disney Plus streaming, so really recommend taking a peek at it. I want to watch like 3 hours of behind the scenes on this. I'm trying to find the Blu-ray to see if I can get it, just so I can find behind the scenes stuff on it. But truly, an incredible movie that I cannot recommend enough.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it is. I think number 4 for me on the year right now, and I can't stop thinking about it. Like, I think that's the testament of a good movie. Like, you can't stop thinking about it, and I legitimately cannot stop thinking about how good Nirvana the band, the show, the movie is. So yeah, big recommend for me on that one.
Cool.
But then yeah, same with Jack. The End of Oak Street, which we can get into. The End of Oak Street, which is not doing too well at the box office, unfortunately. But I do think this one will have some longevity from word of mouth, because I do think everyone who's seen it has liked it, at least what I'm seeing. So The End of Oak Street, directed by David Robert Mitchell, probably best known for directing, I think it was It Follows. Let me double check that. Yeah, It Follows from a few years ago. Where goes the neighborhood after mysterious cosmic event rips Oak Street from suburbia and transports their neighborhood to someplace unknown? Spoiler alert, it's dinosaur time. The Platt family soon discovers that their very survival depends on them sticking together as they navigate their now unrecognizable surroundings. Starring Anne Hathaway, Ewan McGregor, Christian Covery, and Maisie Stella. This, you know what? Actually, Jack, you go first.
Yeah. I think I had not like high expectations for this movie going in, but I think I was interested in the story, and I liked what I'd seen from the trailer so far. So it's just kind of like, all right, as long as this movie is kind of like entertaining and I leave the theater not feeling like I had wasted my time, to me that's a win. And I feel like that movie was exactly what I wanted from it. It was kind of like a fun little dinosaur adventure. I don't think these characters are. I don't think there's much going on with them. I think Anne Hathaway's great. I think her character is by far the best. I think the kids are abysmal.
Oh, really?
I could not stand either of them. I think that
Interesting.
they're the worst part of this movie for me. I thought Ewan McGregor was fine. I don't think he like phoned in the performance as much as I think a lot of people are calling for online, but
no, I think
not
he was
like
fun
yeah.
Midwest dad. Like,
Yeah,
he was just
exactly.
kind of dorky and fun, and in a way like your buddy's dad kind of is.
Yeah, but I really liked how the dinosaurs looked. I think they did a great job of kind of like building that suspense and not just like shoving them in your face 24/7, but
Yeah,
really building that suspense when they were shown, how they were shown. There's several parts in this movie, and I just I laughed out loud over and over and over again.
same. Yep.
And I don't think they were supposed to be serious moments, in my opinion. But if they were, I probably laughed during them too. So
There was one where I legitimately gasped.
okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
We
Yeah,
get to in spoilers. Because actually, I'm very interested in the spoiler conversation around this movie, because the ending fascinates me. So before we get to that, yeah, no, I really enjoyed this one. Big surprise for me. I think one of the bigger surprises of the year. I did not have as much of a problem with the kid characters as it seems like you did. I think the son is probably the problem of the two. The daughter's fine. But I liked the dynamic between Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor. Obviously, it's like a straining marriage, and her kind of small arc of leaving the family, I guess. And I liked the mystery, and I also liked how they didn't really answer any questions surrounding the mystery. They were just like, "Yep, this is what happened," and it's just like, "Yeah, that's all I really need to know. Like, give me the plot contrivance, and we're good to go." I did like the dinosaurs. I think that it was smart, the dinosaurs they selected, to separate themselves from Jurassic Park. Like, if they went just straight, Velociraptors and T-Rex, I'm just like, all right, they're kind of rehashing. But they picked different dinosaurs that made it feel different. That snake worm dinosaur, I was like, no, thank you. But great. And no, I liked it. I think that it was much better than I expected. And the thing I also liked about it was it went for it. Like, it was kind of graphic and gory in a lot of ways, and it made the dinosaurs scary, which I think is huge because that doesn't happen very often in a lot of our dinosaur media, because they are so tamed down in a sense because of Jurassic Park. And I liked a new take on dinosaurs. I also like the setting here. I mean, obviously Michigan, shout out. Don't get a whole lot of Michigan movies, and this is a good example of one. But I do think that the early 80s is a great time period for this to take place because it allows for such a limited technological scope for these characters. And I think that that's really kind of cool. And it also is a time of community. You know, like obviously the beginning of the movie opens up with the block party, but I think that in a similar way to the Philadelphia story, like this version of America isn't as mainstream anymore. Of like, you all know your neighbors and like everyone is, you know, very communal together. And I think that version is kind of lessened to a degree, and I think that adds to it. I mean, even in the beginning of just like, hey, we have to check in our neighbors and like we have to do all this stuff. Like, I think that it's interesting. It's an interesting commentary where like I don't know if it would happen in the same way today if like this obviously fake movie occurred. But no, I quite enjoyed it. The ending for me is really the weak part of it, and I don't know if it fully sticks the landing, which we could talk about here in a minute. But yeah, I was quite impressed with this one. I really thought it'd be a little stinky, and it was pretty solid, fun time. Like I would definitely watch this again. Like I think that this is a big surprise for me. And we've been talking a lot about the year of Robert Pattinson. I'm ready to have the conversation about the year of Anne Hathaway because my goodness, you know, is pretty impressive, I would say, for a year for her. I mean, you got obviously Devil Wears Prada 2, which was humongous. Mother Mary, small, but hey, still good. The Odyssey, End of Oak Street, and Verity, which comes out later this year with her and Dakota Johnson and Josh Hartnett. So she's got 5 this year. And I will say that's pretty impressive. So good on Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, I feel like she's already like this existing like massive force in Hollywood. Not that Pattinson isn't, but I think that there's a lot of people that are kind of experiencing Pattinson in these different roles a little bit. It's a little bit more mainstream as opposed to, you know, like Good Time or, you know. Yeah. So I think but I think Anne Hathaway it's been a good year for her. I have zero intent to watch Mother Mary. I don't think I ever will. Reviews didn't look good either. So
yeah,
but at least it's
different too, you know.
Sure, no, it's been a great. I mean, it's actually insane how much she's kind of popped up in Hollywood. It's so funny because I remember when Pedro Pascal had these types of years, and everyone was like, "Oh, get this guy off the screen." And I really don't think I've heard that for Anne Hathaway or Robert Pattinson. So I just think that's funny.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, I want to jump into spoilers real quick on this one because I have a question and I'm wondering if you feel the same way. So the ending of the movie, spoiler, they come back, but they come back earlier in the day that they got transported. So they have a chance to save people. And then what they choose to do is she saves some of her neighbors who helped her along the way in the dinosaur land. But she also saves her husband, Ewan McGregor, who has... I actually gasped when that happened. When he gets smacked in the ground, his leg's gone, and then the dinosaur eats him. I was like, oh my God, they went for it. And I really liked that they went for it. But then the question arises, if we're doing time travel logic, the other version of them got sent to the past without Ewan McGregor. So she basically sent herself and her children to die because they're not going to make it out. And clearly they didn't because, or else the cycle would have continued of them showing up. And now there's 2 versions of them in the present to save Ewan McGregor. So it's supposed to be like a happy ending, but it almost, if you think about it a little bit, it leaves you with like she basically sent them to either be trapped forever or to die because she wanted her husband back. Which then again, it's like, okay, yeah, you saved 1 person, but you kind of doomed 3. And I was like, whoa, that's an interesting choice. I didn't mind it. I just thought it was kind of funny if we're doing time travel logic.
Yeah, I mean, I also think like the details of time travel and how it works. I think it's like the kid who's like, "Are we down there too?" You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, as far as this mother's concerned, she's like, she's gonna try and get her husband back. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just gonna shelf it. I did
Yeah.
think about that though. I was like,
I was like, wait.
that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think kind of just like the whole bit of the neighborhood moving. It's just
I didn't mind that
it.
they didn't answer any questions. I
Yeah.
did not mind that. Yeah.
I thought it was sweet. The pizza truck. I was like, they really keep highlighting this pizza truck. I'm like, it's gonna come back. But
yeah.
when Ewan McGregor got eaten, I was hysterically laughing. Like I thought it was so funny.
My theater gasped.
I thought it was so funny because it was such a fast change in tone.
Yes.
Because he smacks it in the leg, hits it in the face, and I'm sitting here like, all right, impressive, but like,
you got to double tap, bro. You got to keep hitting it. You got to keep hitting it until
he's gonna get worked, and that's exactly what happens. He goes to like, see his wife, make sure she's okay. He gets just murked.
Oh, dude, throwing him into the ground and his just like body shatters.
Yeah,
he makes
showing
like a
the
crater.
no leg.
Yeah,
the no leg was crazy, and then he just eats him.
Yeah.
And then they just watch it happen. The kids are just
Yeah.
like staring as their father gets eaten by this monster.
Yeah. See, that's why I liked that. Like I liked that they went for that because I think too it was a good moment, and it was a good tonal change. You're like, nothing's happening. They keep kind of getting out of it. And then boom, and it was like so almost visceral that you're like, yeah, you know what? Heck yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think it certainly was a good risk that they took in this movie, because I feel like most movies, everyone makes it out safe, and that is a huge critique I have of the last Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I remember, oh my gosh, when I was watching that movie, I'm just like, oh, there's no way like the entire team makes it out of this. And somehow they do.
Even Mahershala Ali.
I know. He like sacrifices himself, and then he somehow lives, which is like the most trash sacrifice ever. He's like, guys, save yourselves. Like, dude, he would have been, I don't know. Point is, I'm glad they took him out, but man, it was in my opinion, I think it's a hilarious death.
No, I'm with you. Also, the other thing I found really impressive with this, and I said it in my my TikTok review, is just the vibes here are really well done. This felt like an Amblin movie. This felt like an old Spielberg. The split diopter shots are awesome, to say the least, and I really, really liked it from that perspective. Like, this feels like one of those that if this came out in 1998, this would be one of those that people talk about, like in that same vein and of those Amblins.
What I thought was cool is, I mean, there's, like you said, like the split diopters, all the various different things that kind of fit this atmosphere that feels very Spielberg. And call me out if I'm wrong, but I love the scene where the dad is like right by the fence and the dinosaur is like right next to him, and like kind of
the
things
bushes
over
are
the
moving.
Fence. Yes, like everything's moving, and like
it's
things are toppling over.
Subtle, but it works.
And I love how like they don't just try and follow these characters behind them while they're being chased by dinosaurs. They basically insert them in a house and kind of follow them through the windows, or just plant them at one point in the street to kind of like show what's going on, but then to shift focus over to another area. It didn't feel like it was constantly just like cut. It felt very continuous, and I did really appreciate that about this movie.
I liked that, and I think that's a testament to keeping it small, because they only got separated once, and they weren't even separated for that long, which I think was nice. So
my homie, bro, you are not Hawkeye.
Yeah,
he's not Hawkeye.
Put that bow away, pal. Put that bow away. But no, End of Oak Street. I think pleasant surprise. Not great, but very good, fun little blockbuster that I hope does kind of well, because I want more dinosaurs. Give me more dinosaur movies. Maybe X-Men one day we'll get to that one place they have with the dinosaurs, but it might take a while.
I think it'll take a while.
Yeah. Also,
Like,
90 minutes. Love it.
yeah, I agree.
More 90-minute
It
movies.
was nice and quick and short, and
Yeah, that's the Chuck paradox. He wants 90-minute movies, but he still takes 3 days to watch them.
Dude, Wolf of Wall Street took me 5 days to watch. 3-hour movie.
He watches it like it's sitcom episodes.
oh man, is Naomi gonna break up with Jordan in the next episode?
We'll find out tomorrow. All right, end of Oak Street. Let's get into some news and trailers. Do we want to get into? Let's do Paper Tiger first, because everything else kind of ties together. So Paper Tiger comes out later this year. Let me get the exact dates real quick. Comes out. Wow, so slow. Well, directed and written by James Gray, starring Adam Driver, Scarlett Johansson, and Miles Teller. Two brothers pursue the American dream, but they get entangled in a dangerous Russian mafia scheme that terrorizes the family, testing their bonds as betrayal becomes possible. I believe it comes out in October. But what do we think of this trailer?
That's good. They gave us like nothing, I felt like.
Yeah,
we had
I'm
the
with
general
you.
idea, but they didn't actually give us anything material that actually happens. It's just kind of the idea of the flick and kind of the relationships that we're going to see. I love the cast. I would say I'm pretty excited.
I would agree. I'm pretty excited as well. I really like James Gray. I feel like Ad Astra is very underrated, doesn't get a lot of respect, which unfortunately. And I think Miles Teller I like a lot. We kind of talked about him last week of just like, where's he been? And here we go. Here's an answer. He's been doing this.
He's an eternity.
Yeah, but I feel like he should be everywhere, and he's just not.
Well, he's got his alcohol company, right?
Oh, true. That's right. Yes, that's right. Jack did see him. The Teller Man. Jack, did you like this trailer?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good. I think it's showcasing our three main leads, and I feel like it was visually intriguing. But yeah, I mean, I've heard some pretty decent buzz around this. I remember, I think it came out at the Cannes Film Festival in May. So
Yeah.
I heard some decent stuff. I don't think I heard some people really liked it, and then others were a little bit, not as high on it. So regardless, I'm excited. I like Miles Teller. I like Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. So I have a hard time believing that this movie will truly be terrible. So I'll go see
No,
it.
I agree. I'm excited for it. I like period dramas. We don't get a whole lot of those. I feel like geared towards adults. Unfortunately. Big yawn from Charles there.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the D23 of it all. So we got some other news outside of Marvel, which we'll just kind of run through real quick. First, kind of look at Incredibles 3. For some dumb reason, the kids are still kids and they haven't aged them up yet. I think it's a horrible decision. Got our look at it's not Encanto. It's Coco 2, where they gave Miguel a fade, which is quite a choice. He does kind of funny, I think, compared to like I saw side by side of like Miguel and Coco 1 to now Coco 2, and it's just like, whoa, what happened?
Who is Miguel's barber?
Yeah, what happened? They announced Kingdom Hearts 4 with some Coco stuff, some obviously theme park stuff, but we got a first look at Tangled live action, and that actually maybe not bad. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm still over these live action remakes, but Tangled doesn't look bad. But then the Marvel of it all. So let's start with Vision Quest. We got our first trailer for Vision Quest coming out October 14th, the third and final part of the WandaVision trilogy. And this time it is around Vision seemingly figuring out what's going on in his old noggin there. And what's going on seems to be bearded James Spader as Ultron again. So what do we think
I
of
didn't know you
Vision
could grow
Quest?
something like that.
Yeah.
It's such a quick change in aura. It's like you have Ultron,
And then it's just Red Reddington.
and then it's just James Spader in his beard.
Yeah. I think Spader still got it. He's got the fastball.
I don't think I've seen him in much recent, like
He hasn't
in a while.
So that's part of what I was going to say. Since 2015, he's done 2 roles since then, last 11 years, which is Ultron and Red Reddington from The Blacklist. Those are the only 2 things he's done in the last 15 or 10 years. Isn't that crazy? Like James Spader's one of our I feel like one of our greater actors. It's just gone.
He's done. He hung up the cleats.
He did. He was like, I'm never going to get better than Red Reddington. But no, this looks good. I was a bit surprised by this. I think the visually looks pretty good. I've never been that interested in the Vision character, especially outside of Wanda. But if you're gonna make him interesting, bringing in Ultron makes it pretty interesting, I will say. So I did like that, and I have liked this whole WandaVision trilogy so far. So I'm a bit interested to see kind of where this goes, and I'm interested to see what
part of that trilogy.
Agatha All Along.
I didn't watch that.
I watched Agatha. I thought Agatha was pretty good.
Hunter updated us weekly on that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, that was part of my Agatha Acolyte updates I did for you guys. But I'm into this. I'm interested to see what's kind of building to, and if Vision, what's next for Vision, because it got to be something, right? But
I think the piece of this that got me the most excited was when he was talking about how he has all the memories of the old Vision, but like that wasn't him, you know?
yeah,
I really like that idea. I think it's funny that this has kind of stuck with me this long, but at the end of WandaVision, when they meet and they're talking about, I think it's the ship of Theseus.
yeah,
Where like if essentially you replace, the entire ship with, new materials.
point
Like
does it
is
become a new
it
ship?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I'm really interested to see how they kind of dissect Vision here, who I think has normally just been kind of he's been an interesting character, but never like one of my favorites. But I like this idea that he could, I don't know, there's a whole different side of him, or this could be a completely different character than the one that we're used to. So, and I think
Yeah,
it looks
I agree.
visually, it looks pretty interesting. I think it has this
That's
very
what I
like,
miss the most.
They have a pretty
yeah,
good
it
Vision.
has this very unique aesthetic.
No, I agree. I think Vision and even Jarvis has kind of always been in service of another character. Like his entire time we've had him in the MCU. And so I think it's kind of interesting to have Vision take kind of the driver's seat. And even when it seems like he's in the driver's seat, it's almost like Vision's uncomfortable being there. And I think that's a very interesting kind of plot point. Because clearly when Ultron's involved, Ultron kind of takes over. And then even with the other AIs that he has around him, he makes them turn into people, which is kind of cool. But I don't know. I'm interested to see where this kind of goes and what's next for Vision. So yeah, looks pretty good. We got our next look at Avengers Doomsday, which is a trailer that actually Charles and I already saw.
This
So
was
Jack,
the exact same trailer, right?
I think the CGI was a bit improved this time.
You thought?
I thought so. I do think it was a little bit better, especially the ending with the Sentinels. I think it looked a little better there than it did when we saw it, I don't know, a month ago, which tells me they're trying to make it better, but it still doesn't look that great. But Jack, what do you think?
I like the Pedro Pascal. Like I certainly like that they're putting the two guys against each other that need to be against each other. But I don't know. I can't. I think there's just something like visually that's just throwing me off here. I just do not think this looks like. I think the scene where they're all sitting around. Like I think that's very unique, and it's kind of going a different route than I feel like most MCU films have. But I think the fighting scenes. I hate this like wasteland or where like this New York that's just been destroyed. I'm not I'm not loving the vibes there. But I mean, I'm certainly more excited after this trailer than I was before it. I'm really interested in Doom
Yeah.
and his story. Might just be Team Doom, respectfully.
Well, I
just,
might be Team Doom.
I mean, realistically, the Avengers have no shot.
No chance.
Like,
No.
Zero
No
chance
shot.
at all.
No chance.
And I fully anticipate Doctor Doom showing up and annihilating a significant sum of the group that's in the Avengers. Like,
Well, we got confirmation. Yeah, go ahead.
I love Shang-Chi. I mean, I think Shang-Chi has a better chance than almost all of the Thunderbolts.
We got Sentry.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying except for Sentry, I think that
You telling me Ghost
Shang-Chi-
isn't going to have a sick move?
I don't know if he's throwing Stormbreaker like that and tossing Thor to the side. Like, this is not looking good for them.
No, not like
So
too great.
I'm just very interested how they're going to play this. So like how, I mean, I think they're just setting it up. They're going to lose here, and I don't know. I feel like it's just so different this time around because I feel like when Infinity War came around, people knew Thanos wanted to, get rid of half the universe, and everyone had a good feeling that he would, considering that there was another Avengers movie basically being a continuation of it, like a year later, right?
Called Endgame.
Yeah. Or I mean, they didn't come out with the name Endgame until I think.
Oh, didn't
I don't know.
they? Didn't?
Yeah, no, it was just Avenger, like the next titled Avengers film. They didn't officially call it Endgame until I think like right before the trailer dropped.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. I did rewatch the Infinity War and Endgame trailers, and I think the
The
nostalgia.
Endgame and Infinity War trailers are just
Nostalgia's a bitch. I will say that because I can look back on those trailers and I remember exactly where I was when I watched them, and I can remember.
I know exactly
this
where
feeling in a bottle. I remember being in like my first period class in high school, sophomore year, when the Endgame trailer dropped, and all of a sudden like, oh my gosh. And we're like refreshing. And I still think the worst part of that is the Captain Marvel of it all, considering the fact that she shows up for like 5 minutes, destroys all the ships, and then just like, make sure Thanos doesn't snap his fingers, and then she's done.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, like those trailers, and I hope that I go and see Doomsday and I love it as much as I love those, but I unfortunately I think with the nostalgia bit added in there, I don't know if this movie can get up to that level for me, especially considering the characters involved.
It could be very good. I don't think there will be any chance of replicating what was created in 2018, 2019. But
no, I remember we made my history teacher put it on the smart board and we watched it 3 times.
Oh, that's awesome!
Because he's a big Marvel guy, and we were like, "Can you just put it on?" He's like, "Yeah, we're putting it on," and we put on 3. We watched it back to back 3 times.
That's sick.
Great way to start the day. I remember that. Well, some confirmation, some rumors we could talk about real quick. First bit of confirmation we got is it seems like Deadpool and Wolverine are going to be in this movie, based on the D23 announcement. The other big rumor right now, which we can discuss if we would like to, is that Tobey Maguire and his universe will be destroyed by maybe the X-Men trying to stop an incursion. And let me tell you, if that happens, I'm gonna be so anti-mutant, it's not even funny. I'm gonna make those villains in the X-Men movies look like child's play because this no. I will be cheering for my boy Toby, and I will want Doom to destroy all the X-Men because no, thank you. Don't destroy my boy Toby's universe for this. What are we doing?
Don't destroy Raimi.
No.
The funny thing is, if we're being serious, this would totally be the Sonyverse.
Oh, you
like
think
they would totally
the Morbius
destroy
verse?
100%.
That'd be very funny if it was like Morbius and all of them, and that was the big setup.
Like if you're being so for real, like that universe needs to be booted into infinity. Like they need someone to just come by and just like murk all of them. Like it doesn't need to be like, and it's not going to happen because clearly they would never include all these characters that no one liked into a movie that. But I don't know. I love Toby's Spider-Man, and I love seeing him in Brand New Day. But I'm just like, at one point, I'd like to see them just continue with the characters they have, and that's why I'm so excited for something else that happened in D23.
Yeah.
I know we'll talk about later, but I just feel like they're constantly like, oh yeah, we own the rights to this character in these stories. We're just gonna bring him back. And
yeah,
I
I
don't mind
think we have to
Yeah.
kind of accept that for sure. Secret Wars and Doomsday are just going to be like nostalgia slop. Like,
I know.
hey, remember this guy, and it's just like dangling in front of you like a carrot. Like that's just what these are going to be. And if
I
they do
know.
it well, I'm in on it. If they don't, it's just like, what are we doing here? Like, I'll be honest, the James Marsden being looking cool as Cyclops, that gets me. I'm thinking that's cool. But if James Marsden goes up against my sweet, sweet prince, Tobey Maguire, James Marsden, you're going down, buddy. It's not even a question in my mind. That's where I'm at. Like, I don't care about you if it's I gotta pick.
I mean, I'm hoping the X-Men get murked within the first 30 minutes of this movie.
I think
anyway.
they might
will.
be. I think
they will.
I think the X-Men are not making it past maybe even the opening title card. like, I think there's a serious chance that Doom just backhands all of them, and then it like goes to like the Avengers Doomsday logo, and it kind of picks up from there.
Poor Patrick Stewart, dude. They're like, hey, want to come back as Professor X?
And
You're gonna
die
get killed
again?
off again.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure he's happy to cash the checks, but my gosh, that's got to be brutal. He's like, all right, we're gonna put you in this chair. Let's get him in front of the green screen. Let's cover him on all the green costume. Someone's gonna slice his head off.
All right, try to stop him. Oh, sorry, didn't work.
It's like the way that they portrayed both Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart in that trailer. Oh my gosh! Like it looked like they are like it looks like someone is going to show up. If Doom is sending Stormbreaker away like that, like it's over.
Yeah. Well, there's also another rumor that there are two Dooms, which is an interesting rumor going on around right now, that there are actually two Doctor Dooms, and there's the RDJ Doctor Doom and someone else. That obviously is just a big rumor going around right now because of the two costumes that were revealed for Doom. Possibly. I kind of like that we don't know a lot about this movie in the grand scheme. Like, I think that is kind of nice. I think that we got in the post Endgame world, we were big in spoiler culture. Like it just took over. We kind of knew everything was happening all the time. And it feels like in the post like the post No Way Home world, it's kind of switched and we're back to not knowing things. And I think that that's really kind of nice, which I like a lot.
I liked it. Again, I like that we don't know that much, but I just think for how big this project is and how big it's trying to make it feel, I'm just not getting everything I'd like to see. I just feel like the direction in this movie, I don't know if they have a set direction on where they want to take this. I mean, we all know where it's leading to, right? But like...
To Doom. You're gonna have the Costco guys in there. Doom.
But I feel like for those past movies, like there was always like they knew where they were going. As to where
I think we know where we're going. I think we all like.
Yeah, like I mean, it's all headed to what Battle World and Secret
We're all
Wars.
gonna go to Secret Wars. Yeah, like the incursions are gonna happen, and we're all gonna go to Secret Wars, and then one of the Eternals is gonna show up, and we're all gonna point and go, "Oh my god, I remember those guys." It's gonna be great. Like I think where it's all going in the grand scheme is a soft reboot. Like I think that's just where it's all going. Like it's going to be some version of a soft reboot that gets us everyone on one world going forward, and maybe that allows for like a Deadpool to obviously be on the main world and like some characters like that to join in. I think that's kind of where it's all headed, if we're being honest. Because it feels like they're doing a soft reboot of the universe with, we can get into it now, the X-Men. So the X-Men were announced. So let's just read this real quick. So obviously we know Jean Grey. We knew Sadie Sink, Jean Grey, Spider-Man Brand New Day. If you haven't seen that, what are you doing? Now we know Kit Connor as Scott Summers, so Cyclops. Christopher Abbott as Professor Charles Xavier. Our, Christopher Abbott, our sweet prince from that Wolfman movie we all hated like last year. Samara Weaving as Emma Frost, we all knew. Indy Neverready as Rogue, which was a bit of a surprise on that one. And then Maya Boyd, a relatively unknown actress, as Storm. And then last but not least, Adam Driver crashed the panel, and he was announced to be Mr. Sinister. I am very excited for this.
There's
This
a
X-Men.
lot of controversy around one of the castings.
Who's that?
Rogue, Indy Neverready.
Yeah, well, it did sound like she was gonna play Mystique, and then what's her name was gonna play Rogue, but obviously that did not happen. But I don't know. I've seen some
Kaylee
fan art. And
Spaney.
yeah, Kaylee Spaney was gonna play Rogue. I've seen some fan art and don't care. I think Indy Neverready is gonna be awesome as Rogue.
I think the worst part about this, and I'm sure there's like, I understand there's people that have read the comics and they like the X-Men is like everything to them. Like I get that. But like I don't think it's the worst thing in the world if they cast someone that is a little bit different than what they would expect. I
don't mind it.
I do not care. I think that she is incredible in Obsession. I think we all knew she was kind of headed towards something interesting, or that was going to be a big role with a big director, or end up in the Marvel movies. Like I think this will still give her an opportunity to also be in some of those big movies too. I've heard a lot of people saying that it's going to like steal her away from more important projects, which I mean I think they're going to be able to manage her time perfectly fine. This is one movie. Like they're not making like the X-Men into throwing them into the Avengers immediately. Like she should have plenty of time to be in other things as well.
I was also thinking about this.
Also,
If
yeah.
you're an actor, it would be impossible to say no to this, right? Like, let's just be
especially if you're
honest.
up and coming. Like this is
Being an actor is so hard, and you're getting legitimately like, hey, here's a blank check. Like, how do you say no to that? And I get like, maybe if you're already more established and you have that ability to fall back on some things. But a lot of these actors, especially here, like not some unknowns, like legitimately unknown with Maya Boyd as Storm, but Indy Neverready has one role that's like big, and that was legitimately a once in a lifetime breakout horror movie that like is what we will not see again for maybe 20 years. And then, you have a character like Kit Connor, who's mainly a Netflix kind of guy. Christopher Abbott, not huge, but like in some smaller indie things, and Samara Weaving, kind of similar vibe with that. Like, I just don't get how you say no to this. And I get fans are gonna be fans and do the whole where's your artistic integrity. But like, let's be honest, the X-Men and these movies in general, like if we're just being a business perspective, these doing well is what pays for small things. Like you need an Avengers to make $2 billion so that you get the studio has money to make your 5 small indie things. And if you're a X-Men, like if you're one of these actors now and these X-Men movies become big, now you have some sway in a negotiation and in a room to say, yes, I would like this small project I'm passionate about to get made. Like that is the way to play this game. And I don't think I don't know if they realize that or what it is. Like, there's the old, hey, do one for me, you get do one for you kind of a thing, where there's a whole podcast about it. The Blank Check podcast is like, you do a big studio movie, and then if it does well, you get your blank checks to do whatever you want. Like, a great example, right? Like The Nice Guys, I have it right here on the wall. After the success of Iron Man 3 making $1 billion, Shane Black was able to do whatever he wanted. And he made a 70s crime thriller about 2 buddy cops that flopped. But you know what it is? Awesome. So like you have to almost sellout's the wrong word, but you have to play the game a little bit. And I just don't think people get that sometimes. And I always think it's funny when they're just like, why would you sign up for this? It's like, buddy, I got a mortgage. Like what are you saying? Like I can't just do $300,000 small indie flicks for life. Like I have a life I got to pay for.
I think it'll be interesting because I think you'll have like a lot of like kids almost that will like her character,
Mm-hmm.
and be like, oh my gosh, like I want to see what else she's in.
Yeah.
parents are gonna be like, hard no for obsession.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm interested because I think this takes the MCU in a different route than what we've had for the past couple years. I mean, it really feels like they are going to dedicate themselves to these characters and to these stories. And to me, that excites me.
Yeah, I agree.
And again, I like the Thunderbolts, but I don't feel like they care about the Thunderbolts. Like, right? Like, I enjoy that
I
movie,
don't
but I don't.
know.
I don't.
I think they do.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see with Doomsday, but
I mean,
especially
even
like
no, go ahead.
throwing them up against Doom, it just feels like that's just like that's a battle they just can't win. Like they have to be like doing like Mission Impossible, like storylines behind the scenes. Like unless Sentry's gonna pop up again, like I genuinely think that like if they're going like there's no way they're gonna go up against Doom just them, right?
It's a big
but
potato.
But if you were to like, I mean, for me, like if I take a step back and I think like post Endgame, who are the most fleshed out characters in the MCU? I would make the argument it's Spider-Man and everyone else on in the new Avengers, like Yelena, Red Guardian.
Yeah, no.
Like those characters have gotten a lot of screen time and a lot of play. And I think that if anyone, like it's almost them that have been the biggest stars of the post.
I mean, but I'd throw like Shang-Chi in there as well.
We've had only one appearance from Shang-Chi, and we've seen like 3 of Red Guardian and like 5 of Yelena. Like that's where I just think it's interesting.
I hear you. I just again, I love them as characters, but I feel like this is such an unnatural progression because I feel like even for the Avengers, like Loki was a massive threat, and like that entire first Avengers movie, like obviously that is a threat that they can deal with, and they are a much more like collective team, and they have so many different diverse abilities, and I think that works. As to where I think with the Thunderbolts, it's just like I'm very interested because
like
they're going from calming down their buddy who's super anxious to
they basically
trying to
beat
beat
Superman.
some dude that so I don't know, and again, probably to say they don't care about those characters is the wrong way to put it, but I just feel like it is an unnatural progression, so I'm interested to see what characters come in to really boost that team so that they can have a shot.
But I mean,
right?
I would even say that you could do it the reverse way. Like you could say it's kind of lame in the first Avengers, their villain is a guy that was beaten in a solo movie by one of the Avengers.
Well, yeah, but he has like an entire alien army behind him in this one, and he also has he has an Infinity Stone in this one too. Like I feel like that's a very different story, and I think it's like obviously there's levels to it, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think that you get Ultron, and Ultron, I just think you're going from like with the Avengers where it was like the threats got more fearful in each movie.
Yeah.
As to where now I'm like a lot of these characters have not even faced a threat that's, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a hater, but
no, I mean I think it's a fair thing to talk about and bring up. But I do think if you were to say like, all right, where's the issue? For me, it's developing the characters you already have. Like there's a lot of new characters that they kind of have, but it's not the maybe the quote unquote interesting ones. But like, where has Chris Pratt's Star-Lord been since 2023?
Yes.
Like, why is he not in this if he's living in Kansas City? Like, where is anyone from the Marvels? Like, where is Doctor Strange? I think like those are kind of more questions that I have for sure. But I will say the post Secret Wars movies are interesting to me. Like 2028, so December 17th, 2027, Secret Wars. 2028, X-Men, Ghost Rider, Black Panther 3. Those are 3 very heavy hitters in my opinion. Like I think that those are 3 big ones. 2029 will probably have another Spider-Man. So like I think the post Secret Wars movies are pretty clearly strong. It's just who is going to continue on post Secret Wars is kind of the big question. And I think that's where it can get interesting or not interesting. And for me, like it's shocking to me that we haven't found out where Peter Quill is. I think that that's a very interesting character that's just been on the back burner, which either tells me he's not involved a whole lot in anything, which is be surprising, or they're saving him pretty heavily for a Secret Wars, and maybe he's a big part of that next Avengers team that's coming in Secret Wars.
Yeah, and again, I hate to pull out the comparison card to like Endgame or Infinity War, but obviously, like when they try to make it feel like something of that scale, I feel like it's hard not to.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like it almost is. Like I think it's definitely less direct build up, but I mean in the grand scheme for like a Thanos build up, right? You're talking a few post credit scenes here and there, and then the Infinity.
But the Infinity Stones were like an entire. I mean,
yeah,
that's
but also
everywhere.
at the end of Shang-Chi, they talk about the incursions. They talk about the incursions in Eternals. They talk about the incursions in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Like they talk, and then they even kind of tease the incursions in a sense in Spider-Man: Far From Home. So like there are these, teases of it coming, and then even in the Fantastic Four, you got the post-credit scene of Doom. So like, I think in the grand scheme, is it as clean as Thanos? No, but is it non-existent? Probably. I don't think so.
I think it's
yeah. No, I mean, I'm not saying it's not.
I think this whole comparison game, like obviously we're gonna keep going back to like, oh, Infinity War was this and Endgame was this, but like I just don't think you can replicate that. And
yeah, I agree.
I'm kind of with Hunter here. Like I think they've done a good enough job building it up. I mean, we'll see how the movie is, but I don't know. I don't have as big of a problem with it.
Yeah, I mean, even 2 seasons of Loki were basically them trying to stop incursions over and over again.
Yeah, no, Loki was great. I mean, I loved Loki. I think it was good, and I think they were able to pivot pretty good in terms of Kang was the big bad, and then they just were able to kind of scrap it and throw it under the rug without any problems there. Honestly, for me, what I'm more interested in than all the very like small characters, I'd like for them to really invest into the Fantastic Four. Because I feel like we all enjoyed that movie, but I think what we wanted from it was just like another like
more
40 minutes or like an hour to just like actually be with these characters, especially considering that we all knew Doomsday was kind of the next step up. So
Agreed.
I think for me, it's like how they really work the X-Men in here. I mean, this movie's 3 hours, so they can paint the picture however they want to paint it. Honestly, we'll see. And I'm very interested in the character of Doom, but again, more than anything, I'm excited for where it's headed. But I am a big fan of this is Doomsday aside now, X-Men talk, but like I'm very much a like Days of Future Past and First Class, great X-Men movies. So I'm very interested to see in these new movies what they can do that hasn't been done before.
Yeah, I think
so. I am excited
X-Men
for that.
is interesting, and I think it's cool to see a world in which the X-Men are ostracized where other heroes are celebrated. And I think that's such an interesting part of the comics that has never been explored before because they literally couldn't because they couldn't have other heroes in these movies. And like I think that's a really interesting kind of take on where it can go. So no, I'm very excited for the X-Men. And I think the director, I think it's Jake Schreier who did Thunderbolts, is a great choice. And I'm really excited to see kind of where this goes and going forward. But no, I've become more optimistic as time has gone on of like what I think this could be in the future of the MCU. Because I think if you went back and listened to a podcast from, I don't know, like 6 months ago with the three of us, like we would all be pretty negative on what's coming. And I think, I mean, even, the most hesitant of us being Jack, like I think even you've kind of warmed up to what is coming. Because I do think they've course corrected and they've taken a lot of the feedback the right way of like, hey, it seems like besides Vision Quest and this upcoming season of Daredevil, there's no more live action shows. Like they're going to do animated, but like, My Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man doesn't really count for the MCU. Like I think that they've heard that and realized, okay, we put a little bit too much focus over here. We got to focus on quality films. And they've kind of only had really good movies the last 2 years. And even the shows have gotten a lot better the last 2 years. So I don't know. I just think that they've really regained the audience that they lost in the post Endgame 2020, like early 2020s through run. Like I feel like they've really course corrected and it's working.
Yeah, I'm interested primarily just because, like, I mean, we all love Thunderbolts, but I think Thunderbolts was a pretty underwhelming financial result for them. And I think
I think
obviously
that's
they're
almost secondary.
yeah, no, but I'm just saying, like, honestly, I'd rather have a good movie and it not make any money.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I feel like with them, like, money tends to be like
Money talks.
the thing they care about the most, right? Like, and I think
but I
that
think they can
obviously
just
with the
print
X-Men
money
here,
if they
this is
really
a
want
property. But I'm saying, like, them by redoing the X-Men, like, this is
to. Yeah.
I think this is gonna make so much money.
Yeah, I mean, Hunter, it's a public company. They're gonna. That's their.
No,
brand is
I
gonna
know
be-
it, but I know what you're saying. But I'm just saying, like, I think that for every Thunderbolts, a Spider-Man and an X-Men make up for it, which is why,
Yeah.
like, literally looking at 2028 slate, you got X-Men, a Ghost Rider movie, and then Black Panther 2. Two of those are guaranteed
Yeah.
humongous movies. Ghost Rider is the question mark, but I think that almost gives you creative freedom to make it a little weird and a little.
Yeah, I think just like the little weird, and I think it's the Sean Levy of it all. And I love Ryan. I love Ryan Gosling. I love Ryan Gosling. So I'm very interesting to see. And I mean, I guess the Star Wars, the Starfighter. I guess people got their first look at that at D23 too. So I was kind of mad we didn't get the trailer for that because I wanna have faith in this Ghost Rider movie.
Yeah,
I really want to. Like,
I do too.
I really want to feel good
I do
about
too.
it. And honestly, from the like small clips that I was able to see from that leak from D23, like, I'm still interested in the Starfighter movie. But I don't know. We'll see. We're certainly not going to get an Eternals like risk in the MCU for a while because I think they know that people are not going to show up for that. But
yeah, but it makes me also worried of like even a Guardians, right? Like you could call that a risk in the same vein in the
Yeah.
Eternals, and just one
For
worked
sure.
and one didn't. So like I do think that they need to not be afraid to swing. I just think it's swing in the right spots. And then swing with maybe a smaller budget. Like Thunderbolts did have a smaller budget in the grand scheme compared to like something larger. And so I think that they're making the right choices going forward, and I think that they're learning the right lessons, which I think is the key to making this work. The big question mark though is, will it be any good? And obviously we have to wait until December to find out. But no, I'm excited for what's to come is kind of the moral of the story here.
Yeah, and I know it's funny because I feel like a lot of people are calling DC out, and I'm just like, whoa.
Yes.
Calm down.
So we obviously
relax
tonight
a little bit.
have Green Lantern, which that is getting some rave reviews. I'm beyond excited to watch. Are we all going to watch Lanterns? Yes.
Yeah, I'm in.
All right, cool. So yeah, I think we should do reviews of those weekly. So next week we'll have episode 1 review. It's obviously record on Sundays, and it's not TV, it's HBO. And so very excited for that. But I do think James Gunn's definitely in his office punching the drywall. Like, you're 3 years into this experiment of the DC universe, and what do you kind of have to show for it? And I think that's a major concern of going forward. So, I mean, obviously I'm a huge Superman, huge Batman, but like, is there any longevity right now in the DC universe? Maybe, but like, it's a little worrisome.
And it's funny because I think it's so, and again, back to the comparison game, unfortunately. Like, I just think that Marvel is so big right now, and it's so massive that I feel like DC's just gotta they just gotta focus on trying to just make their characters work. Like, Superman was a good movie, and it set the tone for the universe that they want to make. I thought that the Penguin was a phenomenal show. Two very different things. They have a very hard decision. Do they want to merge them together or keep them separate? And I think that they've let that linger for far too long. And I think that the longer they kind of keep that going and they try to like play the game where they can just cross them over at some point eventually, I just feel like the harder it's going to get to like run that studio.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I think it's just a big question mark of what's coming in the line. Obviously, we know Man of Tomorrow, but like, is Clayface a big 4-quadrant hit? Like, where is
Yeah,
Justice
it
League
looks
coming?
great. I'm excited
Yeah, but
for it.
like, is that competing with Marvel? Like, and if you say, hey, we're not trying to compete with Marvel, like, we're fine being a little smaller, that's one thing. But like, you have a very popular Batman that's not involved at all. You have a Superman that's popular, but even him showing up in a Supergirl movie couldn't save that box office. Like, where's your Wonder Woman? Like, yeah, we have Green Lantern now, but like, that's also an HBO Max show. So it's just like, it's not as culture relevant. And it's just, I don't like, where's the flat? Like, where are these characters people love? And it's just, I don't know.
I'm just so interested why we aren't even there yet. You know, like why there haven't been some announcements and like lanterns. Like
Yeah.
obviously when the first trailer came out, I was a little hesitant with like, oh, this is the same universe. It's a little bit darker, but I'm like, I kind of like that they're taking this shift of tone for this universe. Like I like that. That I feel like that's how you can keep a lot of your audience coming back because it feels new and it feels fresh. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like you said, like the Flash, like, and I'm not someone that's like, I never read a ton of like DC comics. Like my love for Batman truly comes from like The Dark Knight and a couple of like the animated series I've watched when I was younger. Like it's not like I have like a deep rooted fandom for these characters or like, I mean, holy cow, with Marvel, like we just grew up with those, you know, like we had those characters and we had accessible movies and TV shows and things of sorts just to like love these characters so much. And I just feel like DC has had the Snyderverse, which I I like. I feel like a little bit more than the average viewer, but I just feel like they gotta, like you said, they gotta throw a flash. Like they gotta find a way to just like get these characters on screen and get people to
Yeah.
see them.
Well, I think it's just interesting too, because it's just like the DC universe has spent more time with Nathan Fillion, Green Lantern, Rick Flag, and like Peacemaker than it has with a Wonder Woman or a Flash, like, or a Martian
Yeah,
Manhunter. Like, it's just, I get that James Gunn likes the weird, wacky characters, but buddy, you're running a studio. Like, let's make some business decisions here, and it's called bring out the heavy hitters and let's start to play. Like, as much as I like John Cena's Peacemaker, I'm not super interested in John Cena Peacemaker if it means I have to pick between John Cena Peacemaker and a Wonder Woman movie. Like, I will make the same choice 99 times. And it's just like,
yeah,
I don't understand why that choice is being made. And it's like, well, hey, we just kind of left Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, so it's maybe just too recent. But it's just like, then why are we doing any of this? Like, then what is the point? Like, Henry Cavill Superman was recent, so it's just like, why are we doing Superman again? It's like, it's just silly, and I get that he wants to do something, but it's just like, you kind of got to pick up the pace a little bit, or you got
yeah.
to give me something. It's just like, sorry, but I'm not super interested in a Swamp Thing movie coming down the line if I don't even know who my Justice League is quite yet. Like, come on. Like that's just where it's surprising that they're allowing him to do it, but with the cancellations of things that are happening, maybe somebody somewhere in one of those studios woke up a little bit and are just like, all right, James, you're a good creative guy, but we got to reel you back when it comes to comes to your ability to make financial decisions. So
Yeah, that's DC.
that's DC. Next week we got Lanterns episode 1 we'll be talking about. We have I think we have a Statham banger next week.
Mutiny.
Mutiny. And so we'll be talking both those as well as some other trailers and anything that might come out. Anything else, boys, before we wrap up?
La La Land re-release.
Yes, I'm going tonight. Avery and I are going tonight. Jack, I know you're going. Charles, do you have tickets for La La
I'm
Land?
not.
Oh,
I'm not as high in La La Land. I mean, I love the movie, but I mean, I'm not as high as you guys are.
That's fair.
So.
It's wrong, but it's fair.
And Ted Lasso's back. Ted Lasso's great.
All right.
Second episode, I really liked it. I feel like second episode really finds like its footing again and kind of like eases back into the Ted Lasso-ness of it all. So
There you go.
I'm still locked in.
Love it. All right, boys. Well, hey, until next week, pleasure as always. And everyone else listening, Doom is coming. I don't know. I don't know any other way to end it. I couldn't think of anything. I was trying to think of something smart and I couldn't think of anything. All right. See ya.